The ancient Egyptians worshipped the vast pantheon of gods and goddesses, which encompassed all aspects of everyday life. From the dangers of the Nile Valley to the inhospitable desert, religion helped to explain the world around them. The gods were believed to have lived on Ma'at, a concept of order or harmony that was to be maintained at all times. As long as the gods were appeased, the people could expect to live peacefully. Despite this, however, one man dared to challenge the beliefs that had underlined his civilization for thousands of years before him. He banned the worship of all but one Egyptian deity, eliminating all other gods and goddesses that the people had depended on for generations. Possibly the first person in history to create a monotheistic religion, he is regarded as a revolutionary by modern Egyptologists, but a heretic by his own people. His name was Akhenaten. By the time of the New Kingdom, around 1550 BC, the Egyptian religion was well established, with well-defined beliefs and practices. Re was one of Egypt's most ancient deities, and had enjoyed a large cult centre at Heliopolis for thousands of years. Akhenaten, initially named Amenhotep IV, spent some years there as a young man before becoming Pharaoh. There he was inspired by Egypt's glorious past and the years when great pharaohs like Khufu ruled the land. Prior to his reign, 18th dynasty pharaohs fought fiercely to defend their borders, and had even extended the realms of the Egyptian empire into Syria and Nubia. These men owed their success to the warrior god Amun, and so pledged their allegiance to this previously minor god. The priests of Amun amalgamated him with the ancient deity Re to rival the power of the priests at Heliopolis. Now, Amun-Re was Egypt's most powerful deity, and the royal capital was moved to Thebes, where Amun-Re's temple complex at Karnak was the wealthiest in the land. As a result of their military prowess, Egypt had become a powerful and peaceful land. Successive pharaohs could no longer prove themselves on the battlefield, and so had to find other ways to assert their authority. No longer feeling the need to devote themselves to Amun-Re, pharaohs began to turn their attention towards the sun, and began building temples in honour of solar deities. Amenhotep felt the need to restore Egypt to its glorious past, when kings looked up to the skies and worshipped the ancient deities of the sun. Akhenaten came to power in 1350 BC under the name of Amenhotep IV, or Amun is satisfied, succeeding his father Amenhotep III. He married the beautiful Nefertiti, whose famous bust can be found in the Berlin Museum. Like his father before him, he had a great interest in the cult of the Aten. This deity was actually the god Re-Harakti, represented as a solar disk, from which rays protruded, often ending in hands holding the Ankh, the Egyptian symbol of life. He was also aware of the power of the Karnak priests. Benefiting from the loots of war under previous kings, the temple complex at Thebes was an important economic centre, employing around 80,000 people. They were at the heart of the community, with vast amounts of land, boasting butcheries, potteries, farms and breweries. Young boys were taught how to read and write, and many became scribes or priests who played important roles in society. Prayers were made to huge statues of the gods outside the temple walls, and festivals helped keep spirits up when times were hard. Whilst most of the temple remained closed to the ordinary people, it was an important part of Egyptian life. In charge of the enormous estate was the high priest, who was beginning to rival the pharaoh's own power. Whilst the motivations for Akhenaten's radical religious policies have been hotly debated for years, many argue that he felt the need to secure his position as pharaoh. Whilst previous kings had achieved this on the battlefield, Amenhotep was to do otherwise.